I get this question so often on stream. Kawn, what are your tips to get better at Tarkov? I have a couple other videos that show my actionable tips in Tarkov, meaning things you can actually do in raid to improve your chances of survival, and I have my theory on improving in Tarkov and how I did it myself. Both those videos will be linked down below. However, today I want to talk about the natural skill progression of Tarkov and what skills, not in-game soft skills, but actual Tarkov skills, I think all players need to focus on depending on what your knowledge is with the game. So that once you have mastered something, you know where to go from there in order to advance and not become stagnant and feel like you're never progressing. I'm Kawn, I stream on Twitch. I'd love to have you guys come by, watch some raids and ask some questions. I have a giveaway for an EOD account going on right now. The details are all down below. And as always, if you liked the video, I'd really appreciate you dropping me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And with all that said and done, let's get into it. So a short disclaimer that this skill progression requires you to already kind of understand the basics of Tarkov, meaning healing and basic starter knowledge such as gearing up and getting into a raid. So the first thing that I think you need to understand is learning your extracts extremely well. Always remember that your primary objective when you get into a raid is to get out of that raid. Use the wiki, use maps and other resources, and use landmarks in raid to navigate your way through the map. Offline raids can also be helpful just to figure out the layout of the map and where you have to go to extract. Now, I'm not talking about learning the map in its entirety and all the nooks and crannies, this will come later. But just understand the basics of how to extract, and always remember that an extract is usually in the opposite direction of where you spawned. So if you're seeing things that you spawn near, go the other way. You also need to learn what ammo is good and bad. I honestly think that one of the first things you should try and pick up is learning about the different ammo and what ammo goes into what gun and what the tiers of ammo are. Some people say that learning what loot is worth the most is an important thing to learn, but I disagree wholeheartedly. At the beginning of your Tarkov career, you should just be looting everything and anything and worrying about what is worth it when you're out of raid and beginning to sell. I think that ammo can be one of the most confusing things in Tarkov, especially from people who have low IRL firearm knowledge. Like for instance me, I'm Canadian and we have very limited guns here in Canada, so my knowledge when starting Tarkov about ammo calibers was quite limited. Learning what goes in what is extremely important. From there you can use resources such as ammo charts, which I'll link below, to understand what is good ammo and what is bad ammo, and then you can go from there and move on to the next step. Step 3, start learning maps. And when I say learn maps, I mean really get comfortable with them. Start playing on maps and become really comfortable with each and every one. I would suggest not hopping around too much from map to map and sticking to one map at a time. If you can, I would even recommend just sticking to one map such as customs for a full week before moving on to the next map. Remember guys, this game takes a while to get used to, and it takes even longer to master, so even just spending a week on a single map may seem like a really long time, but it is well worth it. If you're looking to improve your gameplay, map knowledge plays a huge role in the next tip, so the more map knowledge you have, the better you will be when you progress to the next step. So now that you've learned your maps, you've learned your ammos, and you've learned how to extract from your maps, you want to start dabbling in some PvP. So I assume at this point you've had some PvP encounters. Maybe you win some, but I'm more convinced that you probably lose more than you win. Once you have a grasp of the ammos of the maps, I would start actively engaging in PvP. This doesn't mean you have to take every fight, but I would recommend trying to get involved in at least one PvP engagement per raid. Even if you have to take things slow and try and quote-unquote rat your way to victory, getting into more PvP engagements by moving strategically towards gunfire will aid you in understanding the PvP in Tarkov. Even if you die, it will provide you with knowledge of what not to do in your next fight, and if you win, or even just kill a PMC or two, you can learn what you did right in that situation in order to secure those kills. This step includes learning things such as aiming for the head, weapon recoils, pre-firing, pre-aiming, point firing, and flanking, which I have another video that talks about, and I'll put that in the little thing up at the top right here. Step 5. So now we're starting to get into the more advanced techniques. So I want you guys to start to learn gun sounds. Once you've dabbled in PvP, try to memorize gun sounds. This is a more advanced technique, but it will start to turn you from a rat to a Chad. Start picking up on what gun sounds are what, and this takes a while, but as you learn this, it will help you understand what weapons you're fighting against. In PvP, for example, if you know your enemy has a P90 and you are using an SKS, that's valuable knowledge. You may want to keep your distance. This can also help you confirm kills. If you're tracking somebody who is using an unsuppressed M4A1, for example, throughout the map, and you finally kill that PMC, once you begin to loot that person and you see that they have an M4 that's unsuppressed, you know you most likely got your man. In another example, if you hear 3 people fighting with specific weapons and you kill one of them, you have valuable knowledge that a certain gun is down if you continue to hear one of the other guns continue to fire. This will eventually help you pinpoint how many players there are involved in a fight and who is using what. As you advance this tip, and if you get really good at this, you can start to pinpoint what guns are on what team and who is fighting who, which is extremely valuable knowledge in a PvP firefight. Step 6. As you play Tarkov, you will spawn in many different places. This will all come down to map knowledge, and remember when I said play on the same map multiple times in a row? Well, this is something that you want to start to memorize. It's where you spawn. Remembering where you spawn is important because as you spawn in different places, you will learn all of the spawns of yourself, which in turn gives you the spawns of other PMCs in the game. I think learning spawns is something that will really take your gameplay to the next level. If you can get good at this, you will be able to push spawns more aggressively and eventually piece it all together to learn the last skill in this video, the ultimate Chad tip, and I tell people on stream this all the time: pathing. Like I said, I talk about pathing a lot on stream, but once you are map savvy and spawn savvy, the most important skill in Tarkov, in my opinion, is pathing. Learning how players traverse through the map from spawn to spawn will make you an incredible player. It will help you track people, learn choke points, find angles, and also avoid players if you are full of loot and need to exfil. This is something that takes time and practice and comes with hundreds, if not thousands of hours of experience in Tarkov. But it is by far the goal that you want to reach for and something to always keep in mind as you learn the game. So that's it, guys. Those are my progressive steps or tips, if that's what you want to call it, of how to get better in Tarkov, going from like a beginner player to somebody that has a vast knowledge of the game. I think progression, in my opinion, should look like this. If you're looking to get better at Tarkov, you want to progress from step to step, and you want to focus on some of these steps and really think about it as you go through the game. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you would like more videos like this, show some love and drop a like or a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, you could always stick around and subscribe. It really helps me out. Make sure to check out my Edge of Darkness giveaway below, which will be happening once I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'll catch you on stream or on the next video. Peace, people.